Hello, love family. I have decided to do another video about some experiences and a little bit about what's going on right now. I'm not sure. I'm speaking to a lot of people that are empathic, but everybody is empathic on the planet. We all have different gifts. They are coming online right now, depending on where you are at in your journey. We talked about the Ascension process, also that we are going through a human evolution, and this is happening regardless. It's a natural process in the universe. We're blessed that we are able to discard all this stuff from 3D. And the process right now, if you're going through aches and pains, colds, medical issues like that, or if you're running to the doctor and you're finding out that nothing is really going on and you're not sure what's happening, you're going through the ascension process. It can be painful. The best thing to do, and this is how we all start, it helps to be able to find people who are going through the same thing. I didn't know anybody was going through the same thing. Now I know better. I've connected with parts of my soul family, and I waited a long time for that, and they're just now showing up, and it's been years, so I'm very grateful for that. We also help strengthen each other. What you need will come. Absolutely. If you believe it, it will come. Also, I'm going to speak about some of my experiences. I've been an emotional empath my whole life. I have clairvoyant abilities now that I didn't have before, but I do have them now. They've come online. We're moving very fast energetically, and just be patient. Whatever your gifts are, they will come through, depending on whether you're a new soul or you've been doing this a long time, and eventually I think you're going to know. It could take a little while, but have faith and be patient. I experienced the angels for the first time last week. I kind of meditate before I go to sleep. I just lay there for about half an hour or so with my eyes closed, and whatever happens. I see an awful lot. I'm not sure if you're experiencing the same thing, so I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I have experienced. I always kind of have a knowing. I didn't know what it was before, but it is definitely a knowing. Something that nobody can convince you otherwise of. That is your knowing. You've probably had it. You have it in the other realms, definitely, and you exist not just in this one, you exist in many, many, many more. Part of the ascension process is beginning to go back to where we started. This planet was fifth dimensional until Atlantis, and they were doing all kinds of stuff in Atlantis. Beings came through a Stargate, and they introduced a lot of stuff that they really weren't ready for, and they began to do lots of stuff. What CERN is doing right now with the Atom Collider, they were doing that in Atlantis. They were also splicing human DNA with animal DNA and going against nature. That's why it fell. I have seen Atlantis fall. I have seen the water cover it. Those are new memories. And also we can talk about memories because of the process that you're going through right now. A lot of people are going through deep darkness. What I didn't understand about the process before is that we are turning into light bodies, back to our true nature, back to being connected to the entire universe. Now, because we live in 3D, because you have to be physically born and fall into this density, we become very heavy because this is a physical density planet. It's heavy. So we're experiencing a lot of emotion right now, a lot of deep-seated shit that we haven't dealt with or that we've buried, and some of it may not even be from this lifetime. It's called cellular memory for a reason, because every cell in your body holds memory. Regardless of whether it's from this lifetime or last lifetime, all traumas, painful things that the body holds on to. That's part of the reason that people go through such severe pain and disease. What I'm learning now, I am an acutonics practitioner, which is sound therapy, which are the modalities of the future. because we're moving away from 3D stuff. And medicine only corrupts the body. It only hides symptoms. It does not get to the root cause. So therefore, I've decided to go to Chinese medicine because it's been around for 5,000 years. As I spoke before in my other video, I suffered a great deal of pain for a long time, a lot of sickness. I was not sure what that was. I know now that it was due to all the things that I was carrying in my body. So these things are being released right now, thanks to the central sun, Alcyon, and the Creator. Everything in his existence is sending so much love and powerful energy into this planet, and it feels like chaos to us. The problem is that most people don't understand that this chaos is supposed to come up because you have to drop density. That means you are unloading the crap that you've been carrying for many lifetimes, or one lifetime, however long it's been. Okay, and eventually you will begin to know that yourself. You will begin to see that nobody else can really lead you to it. It will just come. So relax into it, because the galactics tell us to have fun with it, because everything is love and excitement in this universe. It's only here that we're told it's not. And you know, you'll change. Your mind will change. Your experiences will change. People will come in and out of your life. But you have to be still and analyze everything to make sure you're not missing anything. Because if not, you'll repeat it. And I learn now, and it's been years, that you don't have to repeat anything if you don't want to. Once you're done, you're done. So anyway, this is what you're doing. You're dropping density. So if you get these heavy emotions, things that you haven't dealt with, things that are painful, you're being triggered by other people, situations, many different things. So if you're feeling that way, acknowledge it. What I do is that I name whatever the emotion is that I'm feeling. So my ego will run all kinds of stuff on me. Oh, do you remember that person? Do you remember how they made you feel? Do you remember, and that's fear. I know that. That's fear. It's not me. It's my ego. That's my fear. That's fear. And I acknowledge it and I name it, because it's a powerful thing in the universe to name stuff. So I name whatever the emotion is that I feel is here. And I accept it. I'm grateful, because what I didn't understand before is that everything that you feel in your own body, and most people do not have an awareness about their own body because they've given responsibility for themselves over to someone else. Whether it's, the doctor absolutely said this, or this person said this. That's okay to a point, because we have to take in information from other places. To rest on what we know is not going to work, because it's all 3D stuff. You've got to expand your mind. You've got to go outside of that box, beyond what you know and trust, because that's what we're looking for. So it's good to take in other information. And I use this analogy all the time. You get hired as an electrician, you don't go in and just start wiring stuff and have no idea what you're doing. You have to take in information. It's the same thing. When you start to take in other information other than what you know, things begin to unfold. Everything you need will start to come to you if you believe that that's what it is. And you have to have some kind of faith. Have it in yourself, because you are the creator of your own universe. And we all work together. We make soul contracts. We, mission statements, if you have one. Some don't, but many do. It doesn't come to you like this. You're not going to know it immediately. And it's a slow process. If your body were to take in all of the light to be light body, you probably would explode. So be thankful that it's a slow process, and we're blessed that it is. And there's tons of help here, tons of help. So what we've been asked to do is to expand in our audience, and most of us are just talking to people, those that will listen. But there's a lot of people that are lost, and they have no idea. And if you don't know what you're going to talk about, just do it. Just do it. I held off a long time for a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of wisdom. And I didn't retain it all in this information. It's been many, 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 many lifetimes that I'm getting memories of now. I've kind of had them all my life, and now I understand what they are. It's kind of like I'm seeing a movie. I feel it's me, and I know it's me, but there's no real emotion attached to it, which is a good thing. Because if you were going to feel every bad thing that ever happened to you in every lifetime, it wouldn't be good. So So I spoke to the angels. They spoke to me. They said many different words to me, not full sentences, but I think it's because of my own comprehension at this time, because I've never actually saw or spoken to anything else outside of this realm before, at least not consciously, because we do it all the time. We're just not conscious of it. So they said a few words to me. They said diet. And as I said, I was ill for a very long time. Did not take care of myself. And I came from families that ate whatever they wanted, did whatever they wanted, and a lot of people die early in my family. I'd had enough. What I didn't understand at the time was, of course, it was, we're on divine timers. You set up what time you were going to go off. And if you're watching this video, it's not an accident. We all agree to come in and do these things for each other. And our soul groups are vast. Vast. So from one person you're listening to information from to the next person down the street that pissed you off, that is also your soul group, because they agreed to come and trigger you. So when you feel triggered by someone, what I've had to do is sit still for a second and say, okay, why am I feeling this? What's really behind this? Because it's obviously not what I just went through. And it took me a while to get there, but you can do it. I believe in you. You can do anything anyone else is doing. Believe me, we're all equipped to do it. So I think, so they talked to me about diet. Okay. Now, I was 250 pounds, walking with a cane, in severe pain. And I got off all the medication and I changed my diet and I went to organic food. I dropped 50 pounds in 1 month and it just kept flying off. I didn't even try. But what I know is that it's necessary. We have to make room in our bodies. It's very dense in our bodies, heavy, because we're carrying all this stuff from all these lifetimes. So the gift that we're being given from all the energy that's coming in, and you may or may not be able to feel it yet, but it's very powerful. I feel it running through my body. And you will begin to get that awareness if you start to pay attention to your body, because your body's a warning system. It will tell you everything. So say you get a fear. Okay, that's fear. Okay. The good thing about it is that fear isn't a bad thing. It's a warning system. It's your survival system telling you that something's out of alignment. So instead of worrying about how I got the fear, how do I get rid of it, sit with it for a minute. Because the thoughts will come to you. Have the intent every day that what you need is going to come. The people you need are going to come. The information that you need is going to come. But when you take it in, you have a responsibility to give it back out. And I see some people struggling with this. And I did too, because I was afraid to speak my truth. I'm not anymore. I don't care what it is. Never in a hurtful way. And always keeping in mind that other people have free will too. So you can't shove your stuff down somebody else's throat. And try to give it in a loving way. Try to remember what you started out with, or are starting out with, or whatever the situation is. Just try to remember that not everybody's on the same wavelength. And I struggled with that in the beginning, because I thought, oh my God, I got to save everybody. They're not going to know unless I tell them. How are they going to know? Okay, what I understood now was that you do nobody a service, any kind of service, trying to shove your truths down their throat, because what is true for you may not be true for someone else. You and I could stand in a room and experience the same exact thing, and we'd both walk away with a different experience. So the movie that I see out of my eyes is not the movie that other people see out of theirs. And we have to take that into consideration, because we don't want to set anybody backwards. We don't want to put anyone in severe fear. But the main thing is to encourage people to trust themselves, to know that they are divine beings above all else. We are all little flecks of the Creator. It would not harm or punish itself in any kind of way. We all came out to experience for a Creator, not as the Creator watching us and it's outside of us. No. Because if I were to just simply observe you, I still don't know what's going on with you. So the Creator is inside of every one of us. We each have a God seed inside. It's the light body that's in there, all of it. Everything you need, all information that's coming to you, you already know. It's kind of like remember this? Oh yeah, okay. Well, learning is also remembering, and teaching is also learning. So we all have to be there for each other. We might not necessarily like everybody in the beginning, and like vibrations will attract like vibrations. So careful of what you're thinking and feeling every day, because this took me years to wrap my mind around this, that what you're focusing on every day. So say, you get up in the morning and you stub your toe and you're like, ah, okay, you're mad. It's going to be a shit day. Well, your day unfolds, and of course, you called it because you're the boss. Karma is simply a vehicle for the universe. So whatever you put out into those thought forms, the universe says, okay, Irina knows what she's talking about. She's the boss. So we're just going to bring her what she just said, what she's feeling, what she's focusing on, which is not good. Okay, so you are absolutely capable of doing these things. Believe in yourself, because nobody can 100% tell you but you. So all you can do is take in information, sift through what you need, whatever feels good to you, because we are moving into a feeling dimension. It is no more, what do you think? Because that's ego. That's a 3D thing. We're moving past that. So understand that you have great power in you. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. We all have the ability to do this. And many of us came here to do this, to assist with the ascension process, to help Gaia make her process. So things are unfolding for me that I was sure would never unfold for me. Didn't think I would ever find my soul group. Didn't think I would ever find out what I was really doing here. I've had memories of putting my hand up, of volunteering. I remember being on my ship. Now that was a temporary thing, and that's just one aspect. I got boggled down by knowing I was Syrian, from Sirius. I've seen the blue planet. I have traveled there many times in the astral realms. Now I understand what those things are. Because you have a fourth density body. You have an existence in the astral realm too. And in the fifth, and however far up your soul has been. We continue to do these things over and over again, because that's what existence is. Reality is how do I put it? Whatever you're ready for is what you'll experience. And not everybody is meant to go through this experience with us right now. And that's okay, because everyone can only act out of the level of consciousness that they have at any given moment. And that's all that's required of you in the universe. If you only have 100 level of consciousness, you're never going to meet the person that's at 800. So that's okay. You can only take in and act at the level of consciousness that you have. And it took me a while to get that, because I kept thinking, well, if I feel it, why doesn't anybody else? Now I understand what individuality really means. Your soul essence is different than mine. Every one of us are, and that's the beauty of it. But in the same aspect, we're all just one thing. Everything came from the Creator. If it were to pull everything back in, it would just be the Creator. Therefore, we are all in nothing. So it's kind of deep. Some books I would suggest would be the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And I have seen Thoth. He has spoken to me. I remember walking up the steps to the temple in Egypt as a female. I remember walking up the temple steps as a priest, as a male in Atlantis. I've had many, 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 many experiences over the last just 6 months, really, where things have become clearer